not.
If you flick the switch, it will be.
It's not for me. Sorry, Alan. Thinking I need a clock. Should all you? Me? I'm just going to find we never had to wait for this, did we? No, we didn't! The Deputy DC's never had this problem here, it's sorting flags. Has the meeting started? No.
It's always the first time for everything.
Right, can we stand for the flags, please? Won't smile. You can only catch the flags on the top like the kids at the church. Thank you. Everybody. Don't need a microphone, I never have done. I'd just like to say thanks for coming, welcome to you all, and welcome to our special guest, Councillor Julia Berry, who's the Deputy Mayor for Chorley, and who is the incoming Mayor for next year, and who will be hopefully attending our next AGM. So, a warm welcome, and a warm welcome to you all. We've hopefully got a chance to meet some of the people that we've not seen for quite a while, so enjoy it and enjoy your time afterwards, because you're going to have a cracking time at the AGM, you always do. I'd like to introduce, Ellie, who's going to do our opening remarks here.
I was going to use the microphone, but you can all hear me, can't you?
No.
So we're all good. Sorry, it's not COVID. Hi everyone, I'm Ellie Baker, and I've been an active member of this district since I was 11 years old. I'm 23 now, for anyone who fancies doing the maths on that one. Please just don't tell me the answer, I don't want to know.
You're younger than me,
So when I was asked to make this speech, I thought it'd be really easy to write and to be able to just give a really generic cookie-cutter type speech about how well we've all done this past year and about how we haven't let COVID-19 and the pandemic circumstances change us and how we act as a district. However, when actually sitting down to write this speech, I definitely found it the opposite of easy. Because the truth is we should let it change us. In 1907, when Sir Baden-Powell created this organisation, he called it a movement for a reason. We've been built to adapt and change to every obstacle thrown in our direction. Whether it's a worldwide pandemic or even just a software change, although arguably we've all dealt better with COVID than we did with OSM, let's be honest. We're taught from beavers to be prepared, but nothing could have prepared us for for this, and honestly that could be a good thing. We should use this change in circumstances to break new ground as a district, and to be fair, we already have been. We have some of the youngest Explorer unit leaders in the county who aren't only surviving as unit leaders but thriving. We shouldn't be seeing age, sex or race as a debilitating factor in the running of our district. Having a youth commissioner team is great and the work that you guys do is absolutely fantastic, but at what point does it become the norm to have young people in other roles on the exec, or having a young person involved in the organisation of things like the district AGM, for example? And why can't we as a district be the first wave to do that? We need to show the outside world that scouting isn't just for middle upper class white boys, just that they are as welcome here as any race, religion or background. Because in Chorley district we do some pretty cool stuff. We ran heavily attended virtual camps throughout the pandemic, and now we are moving back towards full face-to-face scouting in a way that's being made accessible to every group in our district, thanks to the great work of the district team. We have a complete district bounce back camp organised that everybody in Chorley is still buzzing about, despite its postponement. Pre-COVID, we as a district had some of the best run internationals out there, and there is no doubt that it will be any different post-COVID. We have happy and active groups and units who love being a part of Chorley, and will even take that pride 302 miles down south to university for 3 years. I am talking about myself in that little situation. Over the past 18 months, we have made strides in bettering ourselves as a district, allowing groups to continue to grow and develop and become fantastic versions of themselves despite it all being behind a screen. We've been able to break the mould alongside all of the fantastic districts in this county, although, sorry, being biased, Chorley is the best. And when we return back to face-to-face, we need to continue to do this. Despite all the politics and adults who like fancy titles at the heart of our movement, it is the young people. Because without them, we wouldn't be a youth movement. We would just be a weird group of over 18s in funny outfits and fields. To move forward successfully, we should continue to incorporate their thoughts and feelings into every single decision we make as a district. And I know that's something we're already doing. No one is trying to put an age limit on scouting. No one should retire once they get past 25. But by including young people in conversations and decisions they otherwise wouldn't have been, we will find our district growing strength by strength, as we will be seeing scouting through fresh eyes. And that's what we need to continue to excel at, and be this fantastic groundbreaking district that everybody knows we are. I'm going to end this speech with this. A scout smiles and whistles under all circumstances. A quote from BP himself. So yes, we must smile and whistle, whilst also making waves in this movement that will be felt for a long time after us. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Right. Yeah, right, huh?
Follow that.
Good. We'll change. We'd like to hand over to our DC now for awards. We've just the one, have we?
Yes, we have. And I'm going to ask to come to the front Alan and Jean Fishwick, please. And Alan is going to make the award to Jean.
Distinguished guests and brother scouts, it is a pleasure today to come especially to make a presentation to our better half. She's looked after me for so many years, and it's wonderful that she's receiving the silver acorn, and it's my pleasure to present her with it today. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Right, apologies. I've got one from Steve Owen, one from Craig Milburn, Steve Morton's on Zoom, and one from Phil Fairclough. Are there any other apologies that anybody has?
Chris Samways.
Chris? Okay, thank you. Minutes of the 2020 AGM. Of course, everybody who went there, it's only 12 months ago, you'll remember every word and everything that went on, so you'll be able to tell me whether the minutes are right, wrong or indifferent. Having said that, the exec went through them last September, so hopefully we'll have picked anything up that's wrong. Any comments about the minutes? No? Who's read them? Have you? You didn't pick the typo up near the end then?
I was bored by that.
Thanks, Peter. It's exceptionally kind of you. All right. Are there any amendments then? No? Right. Like a proposer for the minutes, please, to accept them.
I propose that the minutes of the 2020 AGM be accepted as a true and correct record.
Thank you, Val. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Are you drunk? Are you just struggling? You just wish you were drunk, sorry. Right, thank you. Presentation of the this last year's annual report on the accounts. We'll hand you over to our erstwhile long-suffering treasurer.
Thank you. It's
Please, Alan.
amazing this job was only temporary for 3 months, nearly 10 years ago. Never mind. Carry on, don't we? Right. I know a lot of you probably had the information sent out, but I'll just do a brief resume of where we are. The last year's 12 months has caused many financial issues for industry, investments and charities. So I am pleased to report that we have weathered this and are in a very strong financial position going forward. Although we have suffered with the loss of youth members, that has a direct effect on our income, we have maintained to keep the membership fee at the same level as previous year. And district have absorbed the Scout Association increase of £7.50 and what we're going to put on for £1 from district. That has reduced our revenue by £9,250 this year. This was to assist all groups within the district that otherwise may have struggled with the funding with families suffering from the hardship of the COVID-19. If you have the papers in front of you, I was going to say, as you will observe from both the income and expenditure statements, the effects of the past year with the very few activities apart from the Zoom camps, and we also had the cancellation of the district international trip to Candlestick, which will be taking place now. The period has had a devastating effect on the district shop, not being able to trade for the whole of the period, and our district badges was minimal trade. This was a loss potentially of income of £2,000 to £2,500 to the district. We have continued to support for all our sections the OSM charges. Our responsibilities for both All Saints Building and District Centre has been maintained throughout meeting the insurance requirements as well as our normal expenditure on insurance, rates, rents and maintenance. On a brighter note, we have received the Government Retail, Leisure and Hospitality grant, although it was a bit of a fight with the council to get this. We were the last one in the county to actually start getting the grants. We had quite a few, totaling 21,000. So that was a huge input to us. On top of this, which is now in the current year, we have also received a start-up grant of 8,000 as well. So that's a total of 29,000 which we've received. The balance sheet shows our Scout investment with the Scout Association of 80,000 is still secure. I keep on getting in touch with the headquarters to see where we are with that. There has been no interest, of course, this year because it's down to 0. The stocks on the balance sheet, there's been no change to the Scout shop because of no trading, but the badges are still lowering their stock levels, only because of the change in branding of the badges. We now have 46.4% of the badge stock, which you could say has been affected by this, but they can still be sold, and I'm sure the young people will still accept these badges when they receive them. So that is, this is a potential financial loss in the future if we have to write them off. So just to end, I'm pleased to report that our income over expenditure for the year was 26,000, and under the circumstances I expected us to possibly be in a loss position like a lot of districts are, which in the current economic climate and the difficulties of the past year is a fantastic result.
Thank you, Alan. I'd like to say a personal thanks to Alan, because we know he's done a lot of work behind the scenes. It's been picked up at the exec meetings. He's been doing a lot of chasing. He's spent a lot of time, and we're only in this strong position because of the amount of effort that he's put in over many hours, over many weeks. Thanks, Alan. Much appreciated.
Has anybody got any questions anyway on the accounts? If you have, send them to either Jim or
Because we know where to redirect them afterwards.
You do.
Okay, thank you for that. Right. Approval of the District Commissioner's nomination for District Chairman. You know there's a change in this. Peter B, who's on Zoom, is standing down, but he's standing down as chair, but he's staying on as deputy chairman, which I'm pleased to say. This year's nomination is Steve Morton. No, Steve is being proposed by the DC. I think Steve's on Zoom as well, is he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. So, do we have a seconder for that proposal, please? Thank you, Paul.
There he is.
There he is.
Stop licking your nose.
Look like it.
Thank you, Steve. You're in. You're up to it in your neck now.
Yeah, I can't see the hands, I don't believe you.
So Steve's our new district chairman. Okay, now it's the election of the district officers. Nomination for district secretary is myself, if we're willing to put up with it for another 12 months.
I propose that again.
Thank you, Matt. You?
I second that.
Both. Thank you, Chelsea. Right, and the nomination for district treasurer is Alan Ben.
I propose Alan Ben, district treasurer.
Thank you, Lisa. Seconder.
I second that.
Go on, Ellie. Thanks, Ellie. You're in.
Oh no.
District exec. No. Getting through this. All them burgers are ready. Just bear with me. I'm going to wait me mouse up. District exec. Elected members is Pete B, as deputy chair. Dave Truman. I don't think Dave's here today. Steve Owen. And Steve sent his apologies. He's having his cataracts done at the moment, I think. Matt Fishwick. Do we have a proposer for those, please?
I'd like to propose the aforementioned.
Thank you, Peter. And a seconder.
I can second that.
Thank you. So that's in. What I'd like to do is say thank you here to Peter Goldsworthy. Peter is stepping down this year. He's been on the district exec at least 10 years that I'm aware of. He's been an exceptionally well-valued member of that exec. He's put in the right level of questioning, I think, at times, and made us think about what we're doing. Hello, Peter. It's a big thank you. A big thank you for Peter. We do owe him quite a lot. He's been, as I said, an exceptionally good member of our exec and a very valued one. Thank you very much, sir. Take care and enjoy yourself. I think he's muted
He's
himself.
on mute, that face.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can, Peter.
Can I just say a few words very quickly?
Of course you can.
Can I say to everyone at Chorley Scouts, I've enjoyed the last 10 years, and in fact I've enjoyed many years, the ups and downs of scouting, but there comes a time when you've been associated with scouting for as long as I have that you need to move on, and Ellie in her opening comments made the point very validly that we should see scouts through new eyes, and that's one of the reasons that I've decided to step down. The other is, I do think, in all the time I've been associated with scouting, which is on and off over more than 70 years, never have I seen Chorley in such good and strong hands as I've seen it this time round. You have an excellent DC, you have an excellent team, and I wish you all the best for the future. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
Right, confirmation. We now have the nominated members, so it's a confirmation here of the District Commissioner's nominations, because he's the proposer. And we've got Andy Walton. Andy is the GSL rep from Exton Methodists. Sandra Mercer. Sandra is our appointments chair, and Paul Smith, who is still the chairman of our crag team. It used to be called the drag team, didn't it? But it was changed from the district one to the Chorley one. So you know, a crag team rather than a drag team.
Disappointing.
Right, the proposer for that again will be the DC, because of the DC's nominations. Do I have a seconder, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Kate. See, it was worthwhile sending out those. Right, thanks a lot. And district appointments of the auditors. We've got a new auditor. It's actually an examiner at the end of the year. Accounts are examined, they aren't audited. Linda King is stepping down. Linda, again, we've got to say a big thank you to Linda. She's done it every year for 10 years voluntarily. The guy who's coming in, Andrew Angus, is also going to do it for us voluntarily. It hasn't been as easy and a smooth ride for the examiner as we would hope, because of various things, of coach coming in late. So she's done us a sterling job over those years, and I think, again, it's somebody that we owe an unofficial vote of thanks to. And what I'd like to do is ask the DC if you'd write to her, get her address off Alan, and write to her and please say thank you very much for what she's done for us over those years. Thank you. So the proposal for the new the new auditor is Mr. Andrew Angus, who's a chartered. Sorry. Aspden. Why did I put Angus?
You've got it right in the agenda.
Mr. Andrew Aspden. I do apologise. So I need a proposal, please.
I suppose that was true.
Thank you. Seconder.
I will second that.
Thank you, George. See, it was worthwhile you coming there, Alan. Cheers, Ken.
Don't mention it, Fred.
Sorry?
Don't mention it, Fred.
Yeah, I won't. Right, now, moving on, the district constitution. Proposing some changes to the district constitution. The changes are there so that we are actually catching up or bringing ourselves in line with one or two other districts and with county. One or two are just typos and previous omissions. One is that the ex officio members now includes our district youth commissioner, which we haven't had in before as an ex officio member, and we should have done. The next one is the co-opted members. The old or the previous set of constitutional paragraphs didn't give the co-opted members the right to vote. No, we can have two classes of co-opted members. A co-opted member who comes in for a specific task over a very short period of time. But last year, Paul Smith was co-opted on, and he sat on for the whole year and was adopted as a trustee. So it was decided that we change the constitution to say that anybody who comes on as a co-opted member but who becomes a trustee and takes full responsibility for the decisions that the exec make should be given full voting rights. And that went through the exec in September last year as a proposal. So those are the changes on that. And then on the last paragraph, we've brought into line, and these are the number of subcommittees that we've got. We've brought into line with the current way that we're set up. Unfortunately, our 14 to 25-year-old young people's subcommittee never really took off. For whatever reason, it didn't. And Charlie Capers, which was a subcommittee for the exec, has now moved on. They are actually part of the uniformed district team now, so they are separate entity. They're no longer responsible back to the exec. So I would like a proposer for those, please, for those changes.
I'd like to propose the changes to the district constitution.
Thank you, Alan. And the seconder?
I'd second the changes to the district constitution.
Thank you, Trevor. Right.
That's a mic.
Yeah, he needs a mic. Give you some
Not being used, I'm not used.
DC, please. DC's report. Don't tell me you need a mic as well.
It's safe we're asking here. This is fine.
Wherever you want.
Right. Well, what a year. It's customary at this time of year for the DC, past DCs included, to stand up and boast about fantastic things that I've been able to do for you during the year. Lead you on meetings and trips, visit you all every week and see you around the place. And to award many top awards to all the sections. But this year's been different. It's been really different. And what we're going to report now is the success of being able to keep Chorley Scouting alive through probably one of the worst events that this district has ever seen. Remember, this district wasn't a district at the time of the last war, as I was reminded today. We were a different district then. But seeing this group, this district grow through the pandemic has been incredible. And I take my hat off to every single member of this district for doing the bit that they've done to be able to keep it going. I think we'll look back in the very near future at this year, at the year we actually changed the way we do scouting. We'll change it in the way that we embrace technology, and we'll change it in the way that we use our young people to do far more in the district than we have done in the past. And my challenge over the next couple of years is to make sure in the district team, in the district executive and in our leadership that we retain our older members because they have loads of experience, but we bring forward our younger members and make sure that they are taking up the roles that they're more than adequately capable of doing at a much younger age than we typically do. Throughout the several lockdowns and isolations, the adults in the district have pulled together and they've really kept Scouting alive. We've seen some really innovative ways of holding our meetings, holding virtual camps, camping in our back gardens, and we've all done it. I mean, you've seen me make a fool of myself. You know, if I can't do it, nobody will.
What did you see me do?
However, this has not been for everybody. But there have been some surprises along the way, and even the oldest amongst us, and I count myself in that, have embraced the technology. And those that regularly read my posts and send me corrections will recognise that we've all got a long way to go. Thank goodness we've got a good district media team who provide me regularly with a safety net and ring me and message me and say, have you seen what you've done? And we quickly correct it and we keep going. So we've supported 3 big district events online during the last 12 months, the summer camp, St George's Day, and we were all lined up for our new bounce back camp, which was going to be our big face-to-face event. But unfortunately, as I explained, we've just had to postpone that to next year, and it will be a brilliant camp, I promise you. At the moment, we're looking like doing it combined with St George's Day up at Wadacre and taking over the whole of Wadacre on that weekend, but that's yet to be confirmed. Our ADCs have been really proactive in making these events accessible to all the groups and supporting us through the lockdown. And I again, a big vote of thanks to my ADCs and my Deputy District Commissioners for supporting us, me and you, in getting those programmes rolled out. We've appointed new youth leaders in our youth commissioners, a new Explorer leader and new network leader. And we're going to continue with the recruitment. There's a few roles. If anybody's looking for a job, by the way, I have got some jobs that we can talk about after the formal meeting. In the autumn term, we're going to start rebuilding our programmes for these sections, and I'll talk a little bit more about what I intend to do in between now and Christmas in a minute or two. We've got more young leaders than ever before, which is crucial to building our adult leadership team. And whilst I'm on that topic, we are still looking for a young leader. So if you know anybody that would like to do that job, let me know and I will corral them. I'd like to thank, I've mentioned the ADCs, but I'd like to thank every member of my district team for their efforts during the last year. Lots have had frontline jobs as well as family commitments, but they've still been able to find the time to keep scouting going. My job would be impossible without you guys, so very heartfelt thanks to you. To all the group scout leaders and their leaders who've kept the groups going, brought them through the pandemic against a massive thank you to all of you. Through your tenacity and belief in our scouting values, you're bringing scouting back to all ages, better prepared for our new scouting year. Many are reporting growth in numbers already, recruiting new leaders, and in some cases telling me that sections are already full. That's great news, and but there's more to do, and we'll carry on doing that through the year. We're in the process of reshaping our executive to better fit us for the future. So we're seeking more non-scouters, younger people to join us on that team, to make sure that we have a balanced view of what we're doing in the wider community. That's a work in progress at the moment, and you'll see more of that through the next 12 months. Today I would like to echo the thanks that we've already given to some of our exec members, but to all of the exec members I must give a massive vote of thanks to our current executive for their enormous support and professionalism in the way that they manage the district affairs and finances. They have all made major contributions during the lockdown at our online meetings. I have to say that the higher than average age of our exec has made some of these meetings pretty amusing, and we've all learnt a bit of a new vocabulary. "You're muted" is the most popular one. "How are you upside down, Alan?" "Can't find the link, I think I'm in the wrong meeting." But whilst on the topic of the exec, I would like to pay particular thanks to our outgoing chair, Pete Beasley, for his constant support and meaningful experience in both scouting and the Chorley district. He's been a real steadying hand through this past 12 months. To the incoming chair,